your focus for those social media companies on putting threat analysts and pairing them together. And I know both analysts that have gone to Facebook and Google in that space, and they haven't, some have been there longer than others, but I think that's the right approach moving forward.
All right. Thank you. I'm out of time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Senator Peters. Senator Cruz.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Welcome to each of the witnesses. I'd like to start by asking each of the company representatives a simple question, which is, do you consider your companies to be neutral public fora? Ms. Beckert?
Thank you, Senator. The mission of our company is to connect people. We do not look at ideology or politics. We want people to be able to connect and share who they are.
So I'm just looking for a yes or no whether you consider yourself to be a neutral public forum.
We do not have any policies about political ideology that affect our platform.
Ms. Downs?
Yes, our goal is to design products for everyone, subject to our policies and the limitations they impose on the types of content that people may share on our products.
So you're saying you do consider YouTube to be a neutral public forum?
Correct. We enforce our policies in a politically neutral way. Certain things are prohibited by our community guidelines, which are spelled out and provided publicly to all of our users.
Mr. Monge?
Yes, sir.
Well, let me focus for a minute, Mr. Monge. As you know, there have been several videos that were released in recent weeks that I and a lot of other people find highly troubling. And so I want to give you an opportunity to respond to them. One individual, Abneoff Vadrevu, described as a former Twitter software engineer, was captured on video saying the following, quote, "One strategy is to shadow ban, so you have ultimate control. The idea of a shadow ban is that you ban someone, but they don't know they've been banned because they keep posting and no one sees their content. So they just think that no one is engaging with their content, when in reality, no one is seeing it." Is that a practice that occurs at Twitter?
No, sir, we do not shadow ban users.
Why would this individual described as a former Twitter software engineer say that?
Thank you for the opportunity to respond, Senator, about this. These folks were caught on video. They weren't speaking on behalf of the company. They were speaking in their personal capacity. We do not shadow ban folks. What we do is if an account is spammy, meaning engaging in malicious automation, we will hide, make it harder for them to be found on our platform. If I could continue, sir. That was one of the reasons why the efforts that we saw with the Russian misinformation didn't hit as big a mark as they were hoping for. We were able to stop that in real time.
Another individual named Mo Narai, Twitter content review agent, was quoted on video as saying, "On stuff like that, it was more discretion on your viewpoint. I guess how you felt about a particular matter. Yeah, if they said this is, quote, pro-Trump, I don't want it because it offends me, this, that. And I say I ban the whole thing. And it goes over here, and they are like, oh, you know what? I don't like it too. You know what? Mo's right. Let's go. Let's carry on. What's next?" Is that individual describing a practice that occurs at Twitter?
No, sir. We use algorithms as a way to, if we see an account that is being abusive, that also will be downranked. If they are engaging in targeted abuse against minorities, if they're being, if they're consistently violating our terms of service, but they haven't crossed the line into being suspended, we'll make it less visible. But what we won't do is make your followers will always be able to see you, and we are not. We ensure that if you go on Twitter at any moment, you can see arguments on all sides of the issue.
I want to make sure I'm understanding you right. You're saying for some people who are posting, you will restrict viewership only to those who are actively following them?
If we believe that they're engaged in malicious automation, if we believe that they're violating our terms of service when it comes to abuse.
So is it your position that the individuals that are subject to this form of censorship are extremist or fringe? Is that what you're telling us?
It depends on the user. I can tell you that this is not something that we hide from the public. This is out in the open. The fact that we will reduce the visibility of tweets that are abusive or that are engaged in malicious automation.
Well, let me ask, what about Congresswoman Marsha Blackburn? Is she someone you would consider somehow abusive or fringe or otherwise?
No, sir.
Well, then why did Twitter restrict and censor her announcement video announcing as a candidate for United States Senate?
I want to be very clear about that, sir, and thank you for the question, is that we never removed her tweet. What she did do is advertise on our platform. We do, like many platforms, have a higher standard when it comes to our advertising because we are putting in front of people things they didn't ask to see. Her video was reported to us. There was a decision that was made that was later reversed because of some of the language that was used in her account. It was a mistake, and we acknowledged it.
So her announcement was censored because it was pro-life content. Has Twitter ever censored anyone for pro-choice content?
She was never censored.
So you're saying nothing happened to her tweet?
Her tweet got a lot of attention on the organic side. We action our accounts, we take our terms of service very seriously. Sometimes we make the wrong decision. We have actioned on all sides of issues, and we strive to be better every day. And
let me ask a final question because my time has expired, Ms. Downs. I'd like to know what is YouTube's policy with respect to Prager University and the allegations that the content Prager University is putting out are being restricted and censored by YouTube?
As I mentioned, we enforce our policies in a politically neutral way. In terms of the specifics of Prager University, it's a subject of ongoing litigation, so I'm not free to comment on the specifics of that case.
Well, I will say the pattern of political censorship that we are seeing across the technology companies is highly concerning. And the opening question I asked you of whether you're a neutral public forum, if you are a neutral public forum, that does not allow for political editorializing and censorship. And if you're not a neutral public forum, the entire predicate for liability immunity under the CDA is claiming to be a neutral public forum. So you can't have it both ways. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Cruz. I think we've got exhausted all the questions. Thank you all for being here. I think it's been a very informative session, and we all know that the Internet is an incredibly powerful tool which offers enormous benefits to people globally. But we also realize we live in a dangerous world, and that there are people out there who want to do harm and do bad things and are looking for any means in order to accomplish those. And of course, we know that in the modern world, cyber has become increasingly a tool of choice for a lot of bad actors. So we appreciate your, informing us about steps that you're taking to try and police some of that bad behavior. As I said earlier, we have constitutional protections and a Bill of Rights, and we also have, I think we want to make sure that we have a light touch when it comes to regulating the Internet, and that's certainly something that I hope that this committee will continue to support, and that those regulatory agencies will adopt as well. But we also want to make sure that we are doing what we can to keep our country safe. And so we appreciate the efforts that you have undertaken already, and those that as you continue to develop and look at ways to combat some of these threats that we face. We hope that working together as partners, that we can do a better job. And there's always room for improvement. So thank you for what you've done and for what you continue to do. And we'll look forward to discussing, I'm sure, in the future as the threats continue to evolve, things that we can do better. So thank you all for being here. I'm going to just say that before we close, that I've got a letter from the Consumer Extremism Project highlighting its work on combating radicalization online, and I'm going to enter that into the record. Also enter a piece by the Wall Street Journal authored by the Counter Extremism Project's senior advisor, Dr. Say this right here, Hani Fareed, underscoring his work on this important issue. We'll keep the hearing record open for a couple of weeks. Senators are encouraged to submit any questions that they have for the record, and upon receipt of those questions, we ask our witnesses to submit their written responses to the committee as quickly as possible. Thank you all for being here. This hearing is adjourned.